time, I would like to call to order the February 2025 school board meeting. At this time, Emily will lead us in an invocation.
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's Board of Education meeting. It's inspiring to see so many members of our educational community come together, united in our commitment to providing the best possible learning environment for our students. As we gather here, we celebrate the dedication of our teachers and staff, the enthusiasm of our students, and the support of our families who all work together to make our schools places of growth, discovery, and achievement. Each meeting is an opportunity to build on our successes and thoughtfully address our challenges as we continue shaping the future of education in our community. Thank you all for being here and for your ongoing dedication to our student success.
Thank you, Emily. At this time, Moayak Elementary, are you going to lead us in the pledge?
Yes, I am. Okay, we have two student leaders tonight leading us in the pledge, Mr. Grayson Smith and Mr. Josh Evans. If you please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Tonight, we have two schools for our school spotlight. We have Moayak Elementary and we have Currituck County High School. So I think tonight we're going to start with Principal Kristen Saunders Rivera and Moayak Elementary.
Okay. Is our presentation? I don't see it. Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh, it was already up. Okay. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. I'm excited to be with you guys tonight. Tonight, we are going to explain a team effort, a collaborative project that will give in detail an initiative that has become a part of our student council. So our student council has been called Panther Pack, but we've added onto that by calling it Anchored for Life Panther Pack now because of this initiative. So this is a very special night for us. Good evening, School Board Chair Parker, Superintendent Lutz, school board members, and district and student leaders. I am Principal Saunders Rivera, the principal of Moayak Elementary School, and with me I have Director of Student Services, Mrs. Virginia Arrington, School Counselor, Mrs. Cox, Assistant Principal Parkman, Admin Intern, Mr. Letourneau, and MES student leaders, Grayson Smith, Zoe Patton, Josh Evans, Paxton Garsick, and Sophia Savas, and they'll be up in just a little bit. So first up, I'd like to invite Mrs. Virginia Arrington to talk to you guys a little bit about the past, bringing us into the now with this initiative at Moayak.
Good evening. In 2021-22, MES was the first school in Currituck County to become a Purple Star school. The following year, 5 schools were awarded Purple Star recognition, and in 2023-24, Currituck County Schools became a Purple Star district, with all 10 schools being awarded this distinction. In the fall of 2024, we had the opportunity to add an Anchored for Life club at MES. This club is funded through the Department of Defense and the U.S. Navy. This club teaches students to grow their leadership skills and benefits all students, not just students that are military connected. Anchor for Life's mission is to provide resources and strategies so students can become resilient and confident. They work together to support students in their school as well as their community. The student's goal is to create a school where students are heard, their feelings are validated, and they become self-advocates.
These are the components of Anchored for Life at MES this year. I'm going to list these components, and then most of these will be explained or shown in greater detail as we move forward in this presentation. Our student leaders participate in student leadership meetings in which leadership skills are explicitly taught. 2 of our board members have attended one, in fact. They participate in daily student leadership roles or roles around campus. They distribute welcome kits during which brand new students to our campus are greeted by an Anchored for Life member and led through our campus's mission and vision, as well as on a student tour to become better acquainted with campus and then introduced to their classroom buddies who help them get acquainted with their classrooms. They participate by leading weekly quotes presented and explained on our intra-school news network that we call Panther News Network. And also there's a component that's called a deployment kit that is given through our school counselor, who you'll see up here in just a second. These are the kits to my right. And these kits are given to students whose parents are about to be or have just been deployed. Another component of this initiative is lessons that are going to be presented this spring to PE classes and led by our student leaders. And now we get to hear from our student leaders chosen to represent the category of welcome kits and tours. They're going to discuss how this leadership opportunity has made them a better leader, and they're going to tell you a little bit about their vision for their future. First up is Mr. Grayson Smith.
Hi, my name is Grayson Smith. I'm in 5th grade and I am in Miss Anderson and Miss Turner's class. I am an Anchored for Life leader at my school. One way that I've showed leadership this year is welcoming new students to our campus and giving them a welcome kit to make them feel comfortable. One way this has made me a better leader is that I'm more social and more inclusive to people that I might not know and I might not get along with. And my vision for my future is to be an entrepreneur and grow a business. And now we would like to welcome Zoe Patton.
Hi, my name is Zoe Patton, and I'm in 5th grade in Miss Turner's and Miss Anderson's classes. I'm an Anchor for Life leader at my school, and one way this year I've been a leader is by welcoming new students to our campus. This experience has made me a better leader because my vision for because I get to show my new students to our school and I get more interactive with others. My vision for my future is to be a teacher because I like helping kids and being more inclusive. Now I'd like to welcome Joshua Evans.
Thanks, John.
Hi, my name is Joshua Evans, and I'm in 5th grade in Miss Turner's and Miss Anderson's class. I'm a part of the Anchor for Life group, and this experience has made me a better leader by socializing to other people. And my vision for my future is to play in the MLB or NFL.
Nice job. And now, these are a few pictures of our student leaders going through the blue welcome kit, which Ms. Cox will show you in just a second, but is also featured in these pictures. And these are students who are brand new to our campus, and this is the first day that they were ever on our campus. And so our student leaders really welcome them and go through the kit with them, talking about our school's mission and vision, and there are individual items that will help make their transition much easier. And there are even items for the parents and the families. And so this is them discussing those, and they're getting ready to go on their first tour. Next, Mr. Letourneau will explain more about our quotes component of Anchored for Life.
So to add to the amazing things that are happening at Moyock Elementary School, there's also a leadership opportunity for students to present a quote on our news network and explain why that quote is so personal to them while also inspiring the students throughout the campus. So they have a positive impact while also sharing personal meaning. 2 of our Anchored for Life Panther Pack students that have done these quotes are in attendance, and I'd like to bring them up and introduce them now. So Paxton Garsick, if you'd come up, and Sophia.
Hi, my name is Paxton Garsick, and I am in 5th grade
in Miss Smothers' class. I'm an Anchored for Life leader at my school, and one way I've been a leader is by sharing a quote on PNN. The quote I shared was "Take a chance, drop every fear" by Dr. Seuss, which means that if you have a goal, try even if you are scared. This experience has made me a better leader by giving me responsibilities and setting a good example for younger students. My vision for my future is to work hard in school and figure out what I want to be when I grow up.
Thank you, Paxton. And now, Sophia.
Hi, my name is Sophia Savas and I am in the 4th grade in Miss Nolders and Miss Williams' classes. I am an Anchored for Life leader at my school, and one way this year I have been a leader is by sharing a quote on Panther News Network. The quote I shared was, "You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice," said by Bob Marley, which means that when things get hard, never underestimate yourself. This experience has made me a better leader because it helps me learn leadership and life skills. My vision for my future is to become the first woman president, a baker, or a comedian. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. And now to welcome Mrs. Cox.
So along with our amazing student leaders, we do have kits that we're able to give out. So the first one we have is the welcome kit that you saw in the pictures. So each kit has customized things. They're very similar, but customized to each situation. So you saw the folder, and inside it has where they can put information that they find out that day about their teachers, their classrooms, and any other information they might want to look back on. There's also a notebook and some crayons and pencils, and there's a family guidebook. So, as parents, we always want an instruction manual, so this is as close as they're going to get. And so it has really great tips about this stage that their child is going through. And there's also a journal, and as a counselor, that's my jam. So I love seeing the journal. It gives a chance for them to draw, write, but there's also prompts. So I think that also opens up conversations for families. Sometimes we all get that answer of "I'm fine, everything's fine." But checking this out and seeing what your child is writing or wants to share with you can lead to some good conversations and providing support where needed. So, and it's just nice for the kids to walk away that day with something special to take home with their families. We also, my favorite kit is the deployment kit. This handy dandy bear is inside with all these accessories for them to get to put on their bear. And there's also a journal, again, and tips. There's also dog tags. So the deployed family member gets one set and the child gets to keep one to show connection. And there's also 2 sets of postcards so that they already get excited about staying in contact and communicating with each other. This has come in handy. We've had families that we already had a heads up that deployment was going to happen, so we were able to get the grown-ups the kits. So as part of their family time, they were able to open these together and have family time. But on occasion, we don't know that it's happening. So one day I had a little girl who was really upset. Her family member had just deployed earlier in the week, but we didn't have knowledge of that. And she was really upset, understandably. So she came down and I pulled out the kit. And while it wasn't magic, it really did help to settle her down. She sat and talked to me while she got to dress her bear. We went through all of the fun items inside to get her excited about how she could stay in contact in ways that she hadn't already planned with her family member. And she was able to calm down and return to class and have a great rest of her day. And it also opened up conversation with a parent because I was able to call and say, "Hey, your child's coming home with this box today. Let's talk about what's inside and what I can do to support you and your family during this time." And there's also a Bon Voyage kit as well. So if students are moving away from us, because we know that with military it can be transient, there's a little bear to go with them. Again, the journal and tip book, and also a little kit so they can write down friends' phone numbers and things of people that they want to stay connected to from our school. And then last but not least, there is a Together Again kit. So when family members come back from deployment, they also can get a kit. And the really cool thing in the journal in here is that it's acknowledging it's an exciting time, but it also can be a little tricky. We're all in routines and life is going on like normal. And while we're excited to have another family member come back, it also can change things up a little bit and cause some discomfort along the way or just change in routine. So it helps them work through that. So each kit is very valuable and fun. And as the counselor, I think they're great. And it's a great way to connect not only with the kids, but with the grown-ups as well.
Thank you. So as you can tell, we have some things that we were already working on, and Anchored for Life has added so much value to what we already had in place. So when we have items that occur throughout the school, we like to share them naturally with our public. So here's one of our Panther leaders that are welcoming new students and using these kits. This is one of our posts that actually got picked up by Anchored for Life. So it's been retweeted, recycled. And again, on my left, you can see a clip it of our video as well as our wall. So on the video, which I know there won't be audio or there shouldn't be, I'll kind of let play for a second and shoot through. I wanted to share with you that we solicit this information from our community, from our parents. So we provide a Google form and our families upload a photo, tell us what branch of service, places that they've lived. So while we use this information to create a collage for all to see when you walk in our school, we also create a video that plays in our cafeteria for about a week on the TV in there, which really excites the children and makes them feel comfortable and at home. As you can tell, a large majority of our population is represented in our videos. And now I'd like to welcome Mr. Parkman.
So looking forward, we're looking forward to having our MES Anchored for Life student leaders moving up to the middle school level and continuing to hone their leadership skills. And we feel like we've done a good job in laying the foundation for that. We're also hoping for more Anchored for Life schools to come on board in our district, and we would like to be responsible for more positive shout outs for MES and for our district. And in closing, a quote from John Maxwell: leadership is not about titles, positions, or flowcharts. It's about one life influencing another. The earlier that we can start this influence, the more deeply we will be anchored for life. And now our Anchored for Life student leaders will give out some small gifts of appreciation from our school. So thank you.
Before we take pictures, I know board members want to have a few comments because this is absolutely incredible. So we want to make sure that we have a chance to speak directly to the students and the staff who have done this amazing work. Emily, would you like to start?
I am so proud of y'all. This is such a great program. I feel lucky that Sandy and I had a little part of your rehearsal and being able to attend your meeting. And y'all did such a great job. Public speaking, getting up in front of people that you don't know is one of the most difficult things to do. And y'all did it with such grace, and I'm so proud of y'all. So great job. Great job, everybody.
Sandy?
So I absolutely want you all to know you did extraordinary. I am so grateful that we were there to watch you rehearse. I think it's important that people know the amount of time you put in to do these presentations and the pride that you take in it. You all made eye contact. I'm so proud of you for that. I know that was a rehearsal item. And to the administrators, to Mr. Letourneau, I was going to say KSR because of that what they call it. Thank you for teaching our students something that goes well beyond academics. You're teaching them to be great leaders and great humans, and I appreciate you all. You all did a great job.
Alyssa?
I am so proud of you guys. This is such a wonderful initiative to have at the school. I know it's extra work, but this is work that matters. You're creating wonderful students who will become wonderful adults, and that's what we do. So I'm just proud of all of you, of the students, the faculty, of everyone.
Right, Jason?
Yeah, just to echo what everybody else has said. What I'm most proud of is that, you know, our county is a very transient county. And because it's a transient county, it's because of our military family. And if it weren't for our military family, we wouldn't be having this board meeting. And so my hat's off to the school and our district for leading that initiative for that as well, and recognizing our families for that. Thank you for it.
Just everyone has said it. This was absolutely incredible. The work that you've put in as staff, thank you. I've had the pleasure of working with Ms. Cox, so I know what she brings to the table as a guidance counselor, and it's nothing short of extraordinary. I think it's important for the public to know that she's serving over 600 students and doing that work, and that work is incredible. I hope, not to put any pressure, Ms. Arrington, that this is going to be the pilot for the rest of the district.
So the U.S. Navy and the Department of Defense, because they fund it, they give us so many slots, so many clubs. Last year we requested 2. They gave us 1. It was the first year. I understand that. So we will be reaching out to request other spots.
Awesome. So just thank you. Obviously, thank you to our service members and the families that are here. We appreciate the sacrifice you make for us each and every day. And thank you to the students. I know it's not easy, but just thank you. This was incredible. I think we have some pictures. Is that right? All right, let's come on forward. Christina, do you want to go back here? Where do you want to go?
I think we'll have enough room for everybody to come out front. If you guys, just right in the center, Jason. You can go right there, Mr. Brown. Okay, are we ready? 3, 2, 1, smile. Perfect, thank you.
Okay, well, before they go, parents, if you want to get up and come take a picture while they're there, they can stay. Go stay. I'm sure they want y'all in there.
Oh, that's sweet.
Get up there. This is good scrapbook for me.
Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do we get one? No. The one. No, if we're
Yeah, just in case. Yeah.
Does the high school have one? I'm good. I just was making sure they had one.
He's just gonna scroll down that one.
Okay, at this time, we're going to move on with Principal Grady Edwards in Currituck County High School.
Trent, you're tall. I didn't realize you were that tall. So that is going to be a tough act to follow.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to put pressure on you.
So
Currituck High School,
no pressure,
we love
kids.
you. They're little. They always get more attention. No pressure at all.
The cute little kids that talk like little adults. So as the high school principal, I'm so impressed, and I am so thrilled about the crop that we have coming up. My plan is to be here for some time, so I'm really looking forward. Won't be long before y'all are freshmen, so really well done. Super impressed. Good evening, Madam Chair, Mr. Vice Chairman, Dr. Lutz, and the rest of the Currituck County School Board, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you tonight. I'm very excited to be here and thrilled to share some of the work we've been doing at the instructional level in our building. I'm going to try and keep my part short so you have the opportunity to hear from the wonderful students to my right that are in attendance tonight. But I wanted to highlight some of our instructional efforts so far this year. I, along with my tremendous assistant principals, one of them who is here today, just came from baseball, Mr. Mike McCullough, and then Chris Fields and Tina Maurer are actually at our girls' playoff game, who they are winning 30-21 at halftime. So go Lady Knights. Yep. So we sat down over the summer to analyze and dissect our academic performance at the high school. Without going into too much detail, we felt as a whole our school performance has not accurately reflected the talented teachers or the brilliant students that we have in our building. While there's still more work to be done, I want to highlight some of our growth and present our strategic focus to improve the instructional experiences in our classrooms. First, our school-wide goal focuses on using appropriate data in instruction to grow all students. Over the course of this semester, our leadership team and lead teachers work to familiarize themselves and analyze various data points with the intention of personalizing the instruction for student groups. In short, this work encompassed looking at student historical data to determine areas of strength and areas of concern. Based on this data, our teachers work to provide in-class intervention and strategic, targeted instruction. Additionally, we encourage teachers to utilize district benchmark tests as well as state EOC check-ins to gauge how effectively students were mastering appropriate standards and indicators. We place strong emphasis on standard-based instruction and encouraged following district pacing guides with fidelity. Our EOC teachers, two of whom are present here tonight, Miss Lynette Fitzgerald, who teaches English 2, and Miss Amy Griffin, who teaches Math 3, unless you want to teach English. Both of whom are new to us this year and took on the challenge of EOC classrooms, which directly impact our school accountability. These two teachers and the rest of our EOC team specifically bought into the high expectations set by our administrative team, regardless of student ability. And I think that's important. Our teachers hold students accountable and push rigorous coursework in their classrooms. It takes a tremendous amount of work on behalf of the teachers to plan engaging and relevant lessons, and I am so thankful for their efforts. Good. That's pretty nice. It's touchscreen. We've upgraded here at the historic courthouse. So I want to bring your attention to our proficiency scores. This is an overview of our proficiency scores from fall 2023 to fall 2024. So we just finalized a lot of our testing data from the fall. Proficiency measures the percentage of students who obtain at least a level 3 on EOC exams. As shown, Math 1 and Math 3 performed 7 points better from last fall, and English 2 scored an astonishing 15 points better than last fall, which is just absolutely unbelievable. The strong improvement in English 2 to me indicates tremendous teaching, but also a strong curriculum in Common Lit. When you speak to our English department, they believe in Common Lit, and we're utilizing the scope and sequence across all grade levels. This is year 2 of Common Lit at the high school. Biology is not listed there, but I wanted to draw your attention. Biology implemented new standards this year, so those scores do not impact our school performance this year. However, historically, we've done very well in biology. We've got excellent biology teachers, and I expect going forward they'd be tremendous. Also to note, and this is a big point of emphasis for me, I believe this speaks to the testing culture and the culture in our building and the emphasis our teachers put on testing. Only 2 students missed EOC testing for the fall, which when you consider that a majority of our students were supposed to test the Wednesday we went out for the first snowstorm that hit, to me that is absolutely tremendous, and I was very pleased with that number. Next, I'd like to highlight our growth scores. This slide indicates that 40% of students in Math 1, Math 3, English 2 scored above their projection summaries. In short, EVOS provides us with an overview of students' historical data and a projection of the student score in EOC courses. 40% of our students scored above those projections, and many of them scored well above state projections. I'm not going to try to figure out the state algorithm when it comes to growth, but that number, 40% of our kids grew tremendously is what that number. So I would be shocked if we don't at least meet growth at the high school level this year. These are great indications that our students are not only growing but exceeding expectations. Not shown in our presentation, but noteworthy, many of our CTE courses had exceptional scores, and we're very proud of the work of our career and technical students and teachers. 67% of our CTE classes scored above the 70 proficiency mark, which is kind of the state gauge for classes, with business essentials, marketing, and interior design all scoring above 85%. So really proud of those classes. So how are we doing this other than having great kids, which we have tremendous kids? I believe the growth and proficiency in student achievement is a reflection of our high standards and commitment to high quality teaching. I also want to recognize and thank Central Office leadership for approving and supporting the tutoring program. Many of our students who regularly attended tutoring made significant gains across various disciplines. I want to encourage parents to speak with their children about attending tutoring, which we open again mid-March for the second semester. I think it's the best deal in town, quite frankly. We have certified teachers working in small groups with kids. I mean, if you were to go outside an external place to get those services, that would cost a lot of money. But certified teachers are working for at least an hour with our kids in small targeted groups. And they're not just doing makeup work, they're looking at student data to provide those interventions and meet those specific standards. It's a tremendous opportunity for students. Finally, we're actively working to highlight and celebrate academic success in the building. Prior to fall testing, our Knights of the Round Table, a student-led leadership group, facilitated an academic pep rally. Scroll up here, where students encouraged others to take the I Will Do My Best pledge, which had over 300 signatures. We also held our fall academic awards night, which had a great turnout where we recognized over 100 specific awards, not including AB Honor Roll. Also worth noting is 78 students received the Currituck Standard Award, which indicates a score of 4 or 5 on EOC exams, which is just incredible. At this time, I would like to introduce one of our EOC teachers here, our ELA teacher, Miss Lynette Fitzgerald, who along with her team is directly responsible for those tremendous ELA scores. Lynette?
Hi, I'm Lynette Fitzgerald. I'm an English language arts teacher at Currituck High School. This is my 15th year in the classroom, but my first year in the district and in the high school, so I'm happy to be here. I just want to take a second and just highlight a few things that Mr. Edwards was talking about through perhaps a different, more teacher lens. First off, just to take a moment to talk about Common Lit. That's our ELA curriculum that we use with fidelity in the English Language Arts Department. And perhaps my favorite part about it is the valuable time that it saves me, because it has already vetted and researched and come up with all these great texts, and that saves me the time from having to go out and do that on my own. Common Lit uses the academic language, and it exposes students and makes them comfortable with the academic language that they're going to see on the standardized test. So that takes a huge load off me as well. And it also provides some really relevant data that I can use to go into, drill down into each individual student's progress and see what gaps they have that need to be addressed. Second is our EOC check-in. So throughout the course of the semester, students take 2 EOC check-ins. And what this is a really low stakes chance for students to experience that testing atmosphere without having it impact their grades, and they can really kind of get used to that high stakes testing and see how it kind of feels. That provides us with some really great data to where I can drill down into the individual standards and really see what gaps need to be addressed based on each student. So what this does also is it inspires some good conversations within my department. We could look at those results as a department and then work towards improving those scores, not only just for the 10th grade EOC, but also as an entire department. We work really hard in the English department to treat the EOC as not just something that occurs just in 10th grade, but it's a reflection of how we all are as English teachers. And that's really made us a lot more intentional in our planning and in our teaching, so that's a really positive bonus that I've noticed this semester. Let's see, lastly, my favorite part, the tutoring. So thank you again for allowing us to integrate the tutoring into our curriculum. This is where students stay willingly after school. I don't think I had to pay or beg anyone. And administration and the school district make it available to all students. They provide busing so kids can get home after tutoring, which just makes it equitable across the board, that everyone has access to the tutoring. I've seen through the tutoring, I've seen a really a sharp jump in student confidence, which not only plays into the EOC, but also helps engagement in the classroom as well. So that's been great to see. So thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Lynette. So now the best part, we've got 6 brave students who I threw this out there to them, and all of these students, why they're here other than they're wonderful. Teachers recommended these students as kids that were all in an EOC course. We got 9th graders, 10th graders, and 11th graders all in an EOC course, really bought in to the Currituck standard. That's why we have these shirts on. So we're excited and to give them an opportunity to speak. And we're going to start with Miss McKenzie. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie. I'm in 11th grade, and I can really vouch for how the tutoring helped me last semester because I was in a tough spot, and my teachers, I really felt like they were here for me, and they were there, and they saw me. Like a few of my teachers, like Miss Griffin, she did some tutoring outside of the tutoring from after school too, which really helped me with my math. And I really feel like when I did go to the after school tutoring, I felt confident enough after I went there to stop going because I felt like I knew what I was doing, and it really helped a lot. I'm trying to emphasize that because I've always had trouble with everything, and smaller groups really are like, I feel seen there. I can talk, and I'm sorry, but it helped, and I felt like the school is looking out for everybody, and yes, that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mackenzie. Claire, have you next?
Hello, my name is Claire Brown, and I'm a freshman at Currituck County High School. My family and I just moved back to Currituck in July after my dad retired from the Navy. During my time in Washington, I never felt like I had teachers who I connected with and who cared about what they were teaching. I've always loved math, and I feel like I'm pretty good at it. During my first semester at CCHS, I was in Miss Shaw's Math 1 class. I'm thankful for her because Miss Shaw took the time to explain math to us, and I knew that she cared about all of us. She helped me to love math again, and I ended up doing really well in her class. I was able to end the semester with a high A and a 4 out of 5 on my EOC. I wouldn't have been able to do this without the encouragement of my teacher, and now I feel confident as I moved up to Math 2 this semester, and I'm thankful for the time in her class. Thank you, Ms. Shaw, for all you did for me.
Well done, Claire. I'm going to save you for last because I'm not sure what you're going to say. I vetted all the kids, I say vetted, I just put my eyes on them, I perused it, but Brady's, well, I don't know what we're going to get. So next up, let's go Trenton. Yeah, come on, buddy. Who grew 3 inches from the dismissal today, so good for you, buddy.
Might have to adjust this just a
Yeah, I
little
was
bit.
about to say, us tall guys.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and members of the school board. My name is Trenton Patton, and I'm truly honored for your recognition. Today, I would like to express my gratitude not only for the opportunities provided by Currituck County High School, but also for the personal support of Mr. Edwards and Ms. Fitzgerald. Mr. Edwards has been a great source of inspiration, motivating me to strive for excellence within the school. Ms. Fitzgerald, with her genuine care for her students, has been instrumental in guiding me and my classmates through English too. Historically, I struggled with English and standardized tests. This negative trait was strengthened by me and my family moving to Florida due to my father being in the military. In Florida, I was put through the challenge of having subpar English teachers that did not teach state standards. However, through Mr. Edwards' tutoring program, I not only passed the EOC, but also achieved an English score that once seemed beyond my biggest dreams. Mr. Edwards' dedication to his students' success is truly amazing, and I'm deeply grateful for the support of both him and Ms. Fitzgerald. Thank you so much for your time.
Robert?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Robert Wilson. I'm a 9th grader at Currituck High School. I'm here to talk to you about the math program here at Currituck High. I would like to take a minute to discuss some of the things that Currituck offers to their students to help them succeed in learning math. First, I would like to recognize the math teachers at Currituck High School. Miss Bowman, Miss Collins, Mr. Dover, Mr. Griffin, Miss Griffin, Mr. Lopez, and Miss Shaw. Thank you so much for what you do. Your students really appreciate it. Next, I'd like to talk about the tutoring and how it has helped many students to get in the skills needed to be successful in the math standard. The tutoring program at Currituck is very helpful in so many ways, but I'm only going to name a few. First, the staff. They are so kind and helpful, and they are the ones that really make the tutoring program a success. Second, the kids. Without them showing up and taking time out of their day to come to tutoring, it would just be teachers doing nothing and wasting their time. Lastly, which is the kids' favorite, they offer snacks to hold us over. Because who doesn't like snacks when work? Lastly, I'd like to talk about my experience with the math program at Currituck High. My teacher for last semester was Miss Shaw, and she was a phenomenal teacher. She was nice to everyone and offered quiz and test retakes. She would also help out for tutoring, and instead of just telling us the answer, she would make us work for the answer and give us clues to figure out the answer to the problem, which I really appreciated. Anyway, I'm very grateful that we have a program like ours at Currituck High School, and I feel everyone really appreciates the work that our math teachers put into the day to make Currituck students succeed in their math curriculum. Thank you for everyone for listening, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Next we got Mike Ortiz.
Hello, my name is Michael Ortiz, and I'm a junior at Currituck High School. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak with you. At the beginning of the school year when I transferred here, I struggled with science. Tutoring was very beneficial for me. My teachers and coaches have been very supportive of my education here, and I feel like I'm getting a better education than I was at home. I'm able to maintain an AB honor roll while playing multiple sports. Thanks again for the opportunity to speak. I appreciate all the support.
All right, this is the wild card. Last but certainly not least, Brady.
Good evening, my fellow educators and board members. My name is Brady Simones, and I am a junior at Currituck County High School. I, as well as others, have made sure that Currituck County High School and Currituck County schools go above and beyond to improve and secure the success of Currituck County schools. The Currituck County High School has implemented ways to challenge and motivate students towards getting higher achievement, which in return opens new opportunities not only for us as a school, but also as a community. One of these activities was our EOC pep rally that was created and run by the school's newest student initiative, Knights of the Round Table. This pep rally challenged students on their common and educational knowledge in fun and competitive ways in order to get prizes. In return, this helped test scores rise by 7 points in Mathematics 1, 7 points for Mathematics 3, and 15 for English 2. That's a whopping 29 points in total. This, my fellow friends, is a new Currituck standard. I would like to thank Mr. Edwards and the staff of Currituck County High School for the success and growth of the students. But the person I would like to thank the most is Amy Griffin, or as I would like to call her, Miss Griffin. Her hard work and dedication towards students learning in a safe and proactive way is what I say is fundamental in the classroom. I also like to say that the teacher makes or breaks the classroom. Ms. Griffin never left out a single student out of the equation and made sure we always learned at our own pace. She didn't care about us passing, but she wanted us to try. I want to try something before I go. I'm going to share a story with you all about leadership. In a jungle, there's a lion and there's a bunch of other animals. And those animals respect the lion. But why? He's not the strongest, he's not the fastest, or even the tallest animal in the jungle. So why do they respect him? And that answer, my friends, is attitude. Attitude helps you be a leader and make sure your team grows successfully. So I want everyone in this courtroom to go home and change your attitude so you can influence and lead our schools to success, because success is our new standard. Thank you.
So to finish up, it goes without saying that I am tremendously grateful, and I feel truly blessed to be the principal at Currituck County High School. We got a building full of kids like this, and they're absolutely wonderful. So just truly blessed. So thank you for your time. Thank you all. Oh, we have gifts. We do have gifts.
Oh, we have gifts.
Here, yeah, come on, guys.
We're going to let you do gifts.
Ooh, not a corn muff.
Oh, wait. Do we want to do standards? I mean,
Oh,
comments?
when they come back in.
Standards, I saw the shirt. Y'all can come on up. After y'all do that, we're going to do board comments, and then we're going to get a picture. So y'all are going to have to hang around just a
Thank
few
you.
more
Well done,
minutes.
sir.
Thank
Well
y'all
done.
so much.
Very nice. Thank you.
If y'all don't mind hanging around just a few minutes. All right, we're going to do comments, Mr. Edwards, then we're going to do a picture. All right. Emily?
Comment. Yes.
Great job. Great job. Love the t-shirts, love the messaging. The tutoring program just sounds wonderful. I had to be tutored when I was younger. It definitely helps. Just that little push, that little extra bit of attention goes so far. So great job. It looks like great things are going on at that school, and I'm excited because I have an 8th grader that'll be there next year. So good job, guys.
Sandy?
The young leader that said you felt seen. We see you. We see all of you. I want to thank you for being vulnerable tonight and sharing your challenges and your successes. Every single one of you, I'm so proud of you, and you're all success stories.
Right, Melissa?
So I have tutored myself at an elementary school level, and it, even as a teacher, is one of the best things that I've ever done. Those hours were more impactful than 99% of what I did day to day, because like you said, it was in a small group. You could see the students, you could work with them, you could build that relationship. So as wonderful as it was for you, I promise your teachers feel just the same. So I'm really glad that you guys are doing a tutoring program and that it's so successful.
Jason?
As a husband of a retired school teacher who's now back teaching again, I remember her talking about tutoring her kids and bringing the kids back in for remediation, especially when she taught math. And she would get so excited when a child would not be projected to pass the test, then they score extremely high. And it was because of the tutoring and the remediation. So hats off to the teachers for taking on that extra responsibility for that. So I'm very proud of what y'all doing at the school.
Just thank you to all of you. Thank you to the students who took the time to come out tonight. I know y'all could have been in the student section at the basketball game rooting on the girls, so we thank you for being here. More importantly, thank you for taking the time out to get tutored. It's easy to just go home and say, I can't get it. Like Ms. Ayers said, it's vulnerable to say, hey, I need help with this because I want to do better. And that's a skill you're going to use for the rest of your life. When you get a job, no matter where you are, no one knows everything. You're going to have to be able to ask for help. So that's incredible. To everyone that loves the Currituck Standard shirts, I actually got one for everybody. Yeah. They're in my car. Mr. Edwards, we're hooked up. We're going to wear those. I love it. I love the theme, and I love what it stands for. We want every child to be able to succeed. The Currituck Standard of the 4 and 5 means you are career and college ready. You don't have to worry. You don't have to doubt if you don't have the skill. So I think it's great. We're going to tag on to what Mr. Edwards has started, and we are having a new standard, and you've shown that you can do it. To the teachers that were here tonight, Ms. Fitzgerald, thank you for your comments about Common Lit, because what you said is exactly correct. That you had vetted research-based curriculum that if you followed, then you can steer our children to where they need to be. You're not using your hours trying to find out what to teach. We gave you what you needed, and you were able to produce results. Full transparency, Ms. Griffin, I have known, we taught at the same high school in Chesapeake. She's a great example of someone who crossed the border to come to us, and what she found was wonderful children that love to learn. And from what I've known from what she's told me and what she's shared with me is it's given her a renewed passion for education. So she is going to be my secret recruiting agent because she came to us. And we all know that when you cross that border, there's some sacrifices you make financially when you did it. But what she gained was kids that are eager to learn and a community that's going to support her. And what she gave us was a pass rate in Math 3 that we've never seen before in the district because she understands standard-based instruction. Thank you. It was great. And y'all did great following the elementary. Yes. Good job. Thank you. Picture. Let's get a picture. Oh, parents, y'all are great. You're jumping in.
As I said, I love the parents and the big kids coming up too.
Thank you.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. Great, thank you.
Did everybody get one? You got one more? Did you get one, ma'am? Let's do just for a second. High school parents don't often, their kids don't let them do this stuff. And they're not going to tell you it's not right, shoot, I'm not smiling right. Thank you. It was great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was a sound only.
That was a quick meeting.
Put your tissue. Oh. All right, that was fabulous. We're going to move on. At this time, we do need to have approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion approves. Now to the public comment session. The public comment session is a time when an individual or a group can address the board about our schools. It is not a time to speak about issues or concerns involving identifiable personnel or students. Matters of this nature should be submitted in writing to the superintendent, and your concerns will be addressed. Individuals or groups will be called in the order in which they signed up and will be asked to limit their remarks to 3 minutes. At this time, we have one person who signed up, Ms. Jennifer Woods, who would like to speak on CTE.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Woods, and I am the CTE Director for Currituck County Schools, and I'm here to recognize and celebrate Career and Technical Education Month. It's a time to highlight the incredible impact CTE programs have on our students, our workforce, and our community. CTE is more than just classes. It's a pathway to success. It provides students with hands-on, real-world experiences that prepare them for high-demand careers in fields like healthcare, agriculture, engineering, information technology, and skilled trades. These programs give students the skills they need, not just for jobs, but for careers with stability, growth, and purpose. Across our district, CTE students are earning industry-recognized certificates engaging in work-based learning experiences, and developing leadership skills through organizations like FFA and FBLA. These programs empower students with practical knowledge while also reinforcing problem solving, teamwork, and critical thinking, skills that are essential in today's workforce. But CTE isn't just for students, it's an investment in our local economy. When we equip students with career-ready skills, we're strengthening our local industries, filling workforce gaps, and helping businesses thrive. Employers are actively seeking the talent the CTE programs develop, and we have an opportunity to bridge that gap right here in our schools. At this time, I'd like to thank the following local businesses who have donated gift cards and merchandise to and for our CTE teachers this month: Dunkin' Donuts, Hampton Inn, Reality Works, Hardee's, Family First, Brew Through, ICEV, First Team Automotive, Sanderling Resort, Currituck Travel and Tourism, Currituck Chamber of Commerce, the College of the Albemarle, H2OBX, Crumble Cookies, the YMCA, Mrs. Janet Rose, and Mr. Neil McClanahan. I would also like to say thank you to Mr. Ray Harris for donating the 1969 Ferguson Massey tractor to our ag department. So, and just a little bit for you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Ms. Wood. At this time, we do have an update on our Community Engagement Committee by Ms. Christina Boyer. Sorry, Christina.
Good evening, Chairman Parker, board members, and Dr. Lutz. Tonight, I'm pleased to provide an update on our district's family and community engagement efforts, specifically regarding our soon-to-be formed District Family and Community Engagement Committee. One of the key steps in this process has been gathering feedback from stakeholders through our Family and Community Engagement Survey, which launched on Friday, February 14th and closes this Friday, February 28th. Survey feedback will help us identify areas where we can better connect with and serve our students, families, and community. It also provides an opportunity for those interested in serving on our district committee to sign up. We appreciate the participation we've had so far and encourage anyone who has not yet completed the survey to please do so, and they can do that by visiting our district website or Facebook page. In addition to gathering feedback, we're moving into the next phase of forming our committee. With the survey's close on Friday, we'll begin reaching out to those who have expressed an interest in serving on our committee and inviting them to attend our first meeting. We look forward to bringing together stakeholders from across the district and across our community. Once the committee is formed, our next focus is planning district quarterly sessions, and those will be guided by survey results and committee feedback. These sessions will serve as a platform to share insights about our district while fostering meaningful connections with our families and community. In addition to these sessions, we're also expanding our digital engagement efforts by launching a series of videos on our newly created CCS YouTube channel. These videos will help to provide important district updates, introduce district leadership, offer behind the scenes sneak peeks, and highlight the incredible work of our students and staff. Another important update is the upcoming launch of our redesigned district and school websites. We've been working hard to refresh our sites to better serve our families and community with a streamlined design, easy access to important information, and quick links to resources. We believe stakeholders will find our newly revamped sites more user-friendly, informative, and engaging. Our district remains steadfast in its commitment to continuous improvement, and we look forward to providing more opportunities for listening, learning, and collaborating as a school community. We'll share updates on our district website and social media as news or event dates become available, so we encourage everyone to stay connected with us. Thank you again for the opportunity to share this evening, and I welcome any questions or comments.
Emily, do you have anything?
Has anybody expressed interest?
Yes.
Yes, from the
Okay.
survey. So I have a few names that Ms. Ayers kindly shared with me, and then we've had 10 individuals from the survey.
Great.
The survey does ask their level of comfort with commitment, and so with some of the choices being like for specific projects, monthly meetings, quarterly, that type of thing. So there's a variety of comfort level there, and we just appreciate any participation at all.
Great.
So we're
That's
looking forward to
amazing.
it.
Great.
Sandy?
I just want to thank you for taking the lead on this. It is one of, I know mine during my campaign, one of my biggest priorities. And so I just want to say thank you for taking the lead. Doing a great job.
Thank you.
Melissa?
If you wanted to share the data from the survey with the board, I love data, kind of a nerd for it. So once you get it kind of compiled and keeping out personal information if who's interested, but just to kind of see what the community is saying, I know I would enjoy looking at it.
On my timeline, I was hoping to be able to share that in the March board meeting.
Awesome.
All right. Jason?
Just thank you for what you do, Christine. We really appreciate it. So.
Thank you.
That was great, and thank you for planning to share that with us. We really appreciate it. I think this is going to be huge for the district. We know that we do a good job with communicating. We know that's been an area where you've been awarded statewide for the work you do for the district. And I know that we're going to go nowhere but up in terms of just improving this, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, Ms. Ayers would like to give an update on the establishment of a teacher-led legislative and advocacy committee. Thank you, Ms. Ayers.
Yes. So in January and February, Ms. Currituck and I had the amazing opportunity to visit all of the schools in our district and really spend time there and meet with administrators and staff. It wasn't just meet and greets. We actually are forming initiatives that have come out of these meetings. And it's important that we as a board advocate at the state level for our teachers and staff. And what's more important is that they tell us what we are to go to Raleigh and talk about. So Emily and I really had deep conversations, long conversations, and then we were blessed with Melissa and her experience, her background. So individually, we met with Melissa, and I'm going to turn it over to her because she has developed the proposal to get this committee established. So I will let Melissa take it over.
Thanks. So the purpose of our committee is a collaborative group of teachers and Board of Education members. We're going to be focused on advocating for legislative change and shaping educational policies that impact teachers, students, and the community. The committee's core aim will be to provide the North Carolina General Assembly, the Board of Education, and administration with valuable, actionable insight from teachers and board members on the needs of the system. We would like to meet monthly with teachers. I've have a little experience. Elizabeth City Public Schools had something similar to this, where they did you were voluntold or nominated. The teachers were to be a part of it. We will have a truly volunteer group. Teachers who want to be involved in this can be. We'll meet with them, and some of our big goals would be collaborating with other districts. With us being on the border, it puts us in a very unique situation that counties in other parts of the state don't have the same issues that we do. We're competing with Chesapeake. We're competing with Norfolk Public Schools. So we want to take some of our concerns that are unique to Currituck and to the border state regions to Northeast North Carolina and bring these things to the legislator. And then also getting teachers. We have so many veteran teachers who have been here and they have wonderful knowledge that they could share with us, and then that can impact the policies that we make, the curriculums we focus on, and really just utilizing that vast amount of knowledge that we have access to. So the proposal is kind of bare bones, but I have it out for you. So if we are good with it, then we'll get started in the next month, hopefully on the half-day work day, so it's not after school because nobody wants to work extra after school, and start meeting with teachers.
And I don't know if this needs a motion, but I move to move forward with the creation of this committee.
I think we can do it that way to be legit. So you made a motion? Second? Any opposed? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we are going to have this committee. So this is part of, I know people are saying, things are being done a little differently. What we're trying to do is find ways that the board can engage and actually bring change. So this is one of the things that was brought about. If we made sure we sent out something to teachers, we didn't want people to think that all of us didn't want to go or all of us didn't want to be somewhere. But when you see a couple board members out, it's because if we operate in 3, then we're really having a quorum, which becomes a meeting, so we can't legally do that. So Sandy and Emily took the lead on this, and then they individually met with Melissa to see if she would also, and she had some experience with her work with Elizabeth City Public Schools. So they're going to take the lead on this, and you're going to see this in more areas where we're going to allow board members to take the lead in certain areas where we think that we can advocate. We know that Dr. Lutz and his staff can run the school system. We have full confidence in that. We're trying to be able to use our position in other ways to hopefully bring about change. On the issue of legislative and advocacy, if anyone in the community wants to advocate, the state superintendent will be in town on April 9th. Christina, if you don't mind sharing that on our website or on our Facebook page, if the public wants to attend, it's April 9th at Northeastern High School at 6 o'clock. You do have to register because there's capacity, but I have had many community members ask me, what can we do? What can we do to support our staff and our teachers? This would be a great opportunity. Come out, talk to the state superintendent, tell him what we want, and allow him to then go to Raleigh and advocate as well. So if you don't mind sharing that out, Christina, that would be great. All right, next on our list in our Power Packed February meeting, Miss Angela Rodriguez is going to give us an update on the district meal program. Thank you, Angela.
Good evening. Do I just click it? Oh. Alrighty. Thank you for having me tonight. I kind of like to stay in the shadows, so I'm a little nervous. I was asked to kind of give an update on the program, so I've kind of highlighted a bunch of different subjects. As I've told someone in an email, if you want to sit in the office and chat with me, it'll be more than 5 minutes, but my department is open for anyone. So what services are available through school nutrition? Of course, the biggest one is our reimbursable meals. We offer breakfast and lunch at all of our schools. We also do a la carte sales. What that entails is we have ice cream, chips, cookies, think anything that's extra and above a reimbursable meal. And then we also have catering. We do that within the district only. So we do if you serve breakfast with us for the beginning events, that's catered through us. We just did the Tech Fest breakfast. We have done some Title I events, things like that. So it's kind of like the money is filtered back through the district. We also have some farm to school opportunities that I've been trying to dive into. So just to note, the pictures are actual food from our cafeterias. USDA has a farm to school program, so we have gotten apples, pears, strawberries, blueberries. We just got an order the other day with Carolina Gold brown rice from Oriental, North Carolina. I actually went on site to watch it from ground to grind. It's really, really cool. Working Landscapes is a new partnership that I'm trying this year. Myself, Dare County, and Pasquotank Schools are doing it. We've gotten zucchini and squash, butternut squash, cabbage, and sweet potato fries. It comes in fresh. Working Landscapes is in Warren County, I believe, and it comes in, they get a bunch of small farmers, they process it, and then they ship it directly to us. So by the time it gets to us, it's probably been processed within a day or 2 days. We've got really good success stories with it so far. Some of the items, like the butternut squash, we did have a couple of kids that have never seen it before, so that was really nice. Surprised a lot of our staff because they like it. One of our fans is in the back. How is school nutrition funded? I did leave one highlight off of here, but about 52 to 54% of my budget is USDA funded. USDA being Department of Agriculture. How do we get the funds from them? It's every student that comes through that serve line. Once they pass through, we get a rate or a fund for them. We also create funds through a la carte sales. We also, again, through our catering. We have USDA food commodity. It's kind of like we get a credit card that has X amount of money from USDA. Then we have like a shopping cart that we can pull money from there and purchase our fruits, our vegetables, our proteins, things of that nature. And something I left off, which is about 30% of our budget, is money or revenue that comes in from paid breakfast and paid lunch. Some data points with our department. The big ones are how much are the meals. So our breakfast district-wide is $1.50. Reimbursable lunch price for elementary is $3. Secondary is $3.25. A la carte ranges between $1 to $4.50. This year we did experiment and are offering our staff a $4.50 flat rate for a reimbursable meal. Please note, families approved for free or reduced eat at no cost. The state picks up the reduced cost. Account must be in the positive in order for a student to purchase a la carte. What that means is a lot of complaints come in that my child's negative balance is because you're letting them charge for ice cream or cookies. They're not allowed to charge for ice cream or cookies. The only thing that the district allows charging for is reimbursable meals, and it's a full reimbursable meal. I was also asked to validate the debts. So we have 6 elementary schools. Right now we're sitting at about $8,300 in debt there. Negative balance debt are from strictly reimbursable meals that are not paid for through our paid students. So paid breakfast, paid lunch. If the student comes through and they're a paid student, we do not deny meals. Sometimes kids forget their lunch money. Sometimes they forget their lunch packed from home. So no student is denied a meal in Currituck County Schools, and the meal is not different from what you could get regularly. Our middle schools, that's 2 schools with a debt of about $7,300, and our high school between the 2 schools is about $11,000. Please note that the high school debt, about $170 is NAP. The rest of it is at the high school. So what are the rates that we get? The chart shows you that for breakfast, a paid student that comes through, I'll get 39 cents for that meal. A reduced rate, $2.54, and a free rate, $2.84. The offset of the balance is the $1.50 that we charge on top of the 39 cents. Lunch, the paid rate is 51 cents, reduced rate is $4.12, and a free rate is $4.52. The rates are important because that $4.52, everything that plate, it incorporates labor, repair on equipment if it fails, the supply cost, the chemical cost, anything you can think of that runs that kitchen has to come out of that plate cost of $4.52, or the 51 cents plus the cost that the paid student pays. So a big question that I get from a lot of parents is, I'm not feeding their kids enough. So I wanted to share the options that are given. So a reimbursable breakfast, I tried to make it, it's really complicated sometimes, so I tried to color code it to make it easier. Always remember, USDA requires every plate to have a fruit or vegetable on it. It's not our choice. Sometimes it's not the student's choice, it's what's required. So you can have a max for breakfast. You must have 3 items, but you can have all of them. So you can have both fruits. We usually don't do a vegetable in the mornings, but you can have a fruit juice or a fruit, which is either fresh or canned. We also offer protein and grain. I try to menu that as one, so you'll have a biscuit with egg or a biscuit with a sausage and egg, or you'll have cereal that counts as 2 grains, and then you have a milk option. We do 3 choices, skim 1%, and skim chocolate. What's for lunch? So reimbursable lunch, you must have 3 things, and again, remember, one of those 3 things must be a fruit or vegetable. Elementary is entitled to 1 fruit on their plate. A secondary is entitled to 2. The reason is because the cost differentiation. It's $3 for elementary. The extra 25 cents is to help the offset for the fruit. And requirement is a half a cup for one and a cup for the other. So a student at the high school is entitled to everything on that meal. They can get 2 fruit, 2 vegetable, the main dish, which normally will count as your protein and your grain if we manage it right, or it'll count as a roll with a hot dog or a roll with a hamburger, and then a milk. What determines if a student qualifies as a free or reduced? And I think Ms. Ayers has spoken on this in the past. So anyone that is free, their income base is below or at 130%. So I did it as a family of 3 because a lot of the applications that come through, we have single parents with 2 kids. So a family of 3, in order to qualify for free, their income is $33,566. And a reduced student would qualify 185%, between 185% and 130. If they're 130 or less, then of course they're free. And a family of 3, their income must be $47,767. When I see this, I've lived in Currituck all my life. It was nostalgic. I went to Moayak Elementary School. I graduated from the high school. To see $47,000, we know how much it costs to actually live in Currituck. That's not a lot. So we always encourage, and I know that this board has done it the last couple of meetings, encourage families to apply with an application. Whether you think you would qualify or you wouldn't qualify, just apply. It's a very simple process. Later at the end, it'll show you how you can do it online. It's a very protected process. My office is locked. There's really only 2 of us that see them. If you want to put it in a sealed envelope on a hard copy, send it on up, that's fine. I just encourage everybody to fill one out. Direct certified students are those students that are receiving, or the families that are receiving aid through DSS, Department of Social Services. We automatically do a pool. I just did one today. What that means is if you receive services that is based off your financial need, whether it's TANF or SNAP benefits, it'll pull in through the state website. It pulls into my software, and it's an automatic approval. They don't have to do anything. And then you'll get a notification, either email if I have that on file or in a letter. Another big question is always the percentage of free reduced within the district. So I've layered it with elementary schools, and this is as of 2/18. And as you can see, our South End, Griggs, and Jarvisburg are our highest, above 60%. Then we have our middle schools. We have Currituck Middle and Moayak Middle. And then we have our high schools. There's still room for growth at the high school, especially. A lot of times the parents are kind of letting the kids decide when they're turning things in or not. Even if the family fills it out, we might not get the application. I encourage all families to do it online. You're not dependent on if a child forgets it in their backpack. District-wide, it's 35.4%. I did add on that approved applications, that means a hard copy that's come in or online, makes up about 8% to 9% of those. A large percentage, 26 to 27%, is direct certification. Those are families that we guarantee in the district are in a financial need. Denied applications, if they make an application hard copy or online, there's about a 6% deny rate. And then no applications on file, it's 58%. So we still have 58% opportunity. This is the QR code. If you hit the QR code, it should bring you straight up to the online meal application. All they have to do is do a drop down and put Currituck County on it. And then the rest of it is simple. If you know your income, it maybe takes about 5 minutes. It'll go in, it goes directly to my system. The next day we see it, we do the approvals, I do the second review, it pops out, and then by the next day, the status if approved will show up with the student's meal account. Linkconnect.com is how parents can go online and make an account. It's free, there's no charge for it. You can see the activity of your student. You can set limitations. I believe the limitations, though, are a weekly limitation. I don't believe they're daily. If you want a daily limitation, say you want Johnny to only have ice cream on Fridays, you need to reach out to me so we can put it on their accounts. You can also pay online. You're not required to pay online. There is a fee that the company charges. If you send money in, we can cash checks or take cash. We do take applications all year. So at the end, I always get told, Angela, you just did a great job. It's not me. I just orchestrated. It's my staff. You guys have some really hardworking staff in school nutrition. They're dedicated to the kids. When no one else has to come in, they do, because we have deliveries that won't stop because of the storm. When nobody else is in the building, they're there. So they're kind of like bus drivers. They're the first ones the kids see. We have a motto in the department, you make it or fake it. If you're having a bad day, the kids shouldn't know it, because we just want to bring them joy when they come in. So my contact information's there. As some of the board members know, you can email me anytime. You might get a lot from me, but that's okay, as long as you're okay with it. And school meals, I have a shortcut to our site. It's currituckschoolmeals.com with an S. That'll bring you straight to the school nutrition site. Parents want refunds, the form's on there. If your child has a medical issue with food, then the form is there for you to download and bring it to your medical profession and send it back in. Are there any questions?
Emily, do you have anything?
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Sandy?
I just want to thank you. You've answered every single one of my questions. I know I've probably been a little high maintenance the past few weeks trying to understand what it is you do, and I still don't, I don't think, because it's very layered.
It's okay.
But I appreciate your efforts. I appreciate your work.
Yes, ma'am.
Melissa?
I was definitely a buy school in the school lunch in the cafeteria kid all through, and then even as a teacher, never once packed my lunch, always bought it in the cafeteria. So
Because if the kids see the teachers eat, the kids are more in tune to come through the line to at least try it.
I have like favorite meals that I could list. I mean, it was definitely, I was always a cafeteria person, and so I very much appreciate it and how hard the staff worked and how kind and caring they are.
Thank you.
Jason?
Yeah, I did have just a quick question. I guess it kind of pertains to the high school and the early college. When the kids come through the line and they've forgotten the lunch money or whatever, is there any other way they can pay? I know a lot of kids carry their debit cards. They got their parents' credit cards on their phones. Is there any way?
Ask that a lot. That's
do that?
that's a layered financial concern that we have to first be able to know if our software can maintain it. I've been asked, and then we have to have the software and the devices to do that. So I'm not really sure. I can't answer that right now. I do know it's something that I'm researching to see if it's an opportunity. But again, it's an onion layer because it's not just my department. Then I'm opening up the finance department to how we collect that fund.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, we're coming to a cashless carry, and you can go to Kevin's in the morning, and the kids are going through the line with the credit cards, buying the breakfast.
What is that, the tapper thing?
Yeah,
that
they
Don't
tap.
kids that don't know what that is.
Or they
Yes.
take their phone and they put it up there, and they're on the way. And so, I mean, that's might be something we really need
Something
to
I'm looking
focus on.
into. Yes.
ma'am.
Thank you for looking. That's a great point, Jason. I know I only live in the Booster Club world. Actually, Emily Currituck donated some credit card machines to the Booster Club, and it was exponential what ended up being sold once kids could tap. It was phenomenal. So that's a great point. Thank you for that. I do thank you for this. I drive Angela crazy like I do most employees in the district, but she always answers questions. She knew this Title I thing was really near and dear to my heart. I think this is powerful information for the community. One, maybe your child's lunch plate isn't what you want it to be because your child is not picking appropriately. That's the big thing, because we do get this pushback that there's not enough food. They're not choosing everything they could choose.
And it's not just what's on the line, Ms. Parker. We also have the extra additives. So we do, like Moeg Elementary has done the Lunchables. I think you were there one day.
Yes,
to
I was
actually
there
see-
when a kid came through and said, do you have that peanut butter and jelly? So they knew they have to advocate for themselves. This is hard as parents, but we need to teach children to advocate, to ask for something. It's important for the community to see we're already at $27,000 of debt halfway through the year. Please fill out the form. Just fill out the form. If you need help, it's a hand up, it's not a handout. Just fill out the form. You're actually doing us harm by charging, because that's local funds we're having to spend. This was phenomenal. It was a great presentation. I hope we'll have this linked somewhere, because everyone in the community can now understand, and they can also understand why the federal funds are extremely important, since 52% of your budget comes that way. So that's something that's important for us. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And I'd like to note, if you are free or reduced, no one through that line will know your child is free or reduced. Please know that. As a parent, I will admit, I was a reduced student throughout. Fridays was my ice cream day. No one knew I was a reduced student, and it's still the same today. As your student goes through, you could have $500 on this child's account. Because they're just going through and putting their number in, no one knows they paid or they didn't pay. So please let that stigma go away. No one, even if they owe money, it's a quiet, hey, don't forget to tell mom and dad you owe money. That's it. There's no harassment that comes through the child, so.
Your team is incredible, but you're a great leader. So thank you for your leadership.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're plugging along. Human Resources presentation by Ms. Angel Lasher, our HR Director.
Good evening, Ms. Parker, board members, and Dr. Lutz. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come share one piece of the HR world with you tonight. And I'm going to go through our hiring and onboarding processes and hopefully answer some questions about the application on the applicant side as well this evening. So we're going to talk about vacancies and postings, the interview and selection process, our job offers and notifications, and then we'll finish up with the onboarding. So a vacancy request, whether that vacancy becomes available due to a retirement, a resignation, or a newly created position, all principals and directors are to submit a position request to the central office when they have that vacancy become open. And so we have a template that is used. They know where it's at. We keep it in our share drive. They go, they fill out the template, and they share it with most of the members in central office. You're looking at your finance department, your HR department, and Dr. Lutz. And then it has to go through approval process. So once it gets to us, Susan Mizell, our finance director, will take a look. She'll sign off and make sure, everything is accurate. Dr. Lutz will sign off, and then that's my cue that everybody's in agreement. I will take a look at the posting and then send it to my assistant for the actual posting of the position. And we have spent a lot of time now as we're going through new postings, also updating our job descriptions. Our posting timelines, our administrative vacancies are posted internally first. And so we kind of send a courtesy email to all our all employees internally stating that an administrative position is available. We include the job description. We include the dates that it's going to go to be posted to external candidates. And then we kind of give them a timeline of when they should submit their interest to myself. All our other vacancies are posted at the same time. And it is important to note that our internal candidates, we don't require them to go through the applicant tracker. They can email myself kind of their interest in the position and then an updated resume we do ask for. All right, moving on to the external applicant process. So if someone's interested in Currituck County Schools, then they should visit our website and go to the employment section, and all of our jobs are listed there. Once they're there, they need to create an account through Applicant Tracker. Spring Form is also kind of what pops up now. They've just kind of made some changes to what that looks like when you log in. But once they create an account, they need to enter their personal information. They enter their work experiences. It's almost like a resume that they're completing through the application process. And then they can also submit documents. So they can upload their teaching license. They can upload their praxis scores if they've taken them. They can upload certifications if they're a classified employee and have certain classifications or certifications that they want to share with us. They can upload their letters of reference if they already have some of those completed by, former employers. And all of that is there. And the nice thing about Applicant Tracker is once they complete that application, then they can apply for any job and they don't have to go through that whole process again. So if they are looking for a teacher assistant position and there's 3 maybe available across the district, there's one at Central, let's say, maybe there's one at Moyock Elementary, and then there's one at the high school, they can just go in, hit apply, and that information is already there. So once they get it all in there, they're good to go, and they can edit at any time. Once they do submit an application for a job or a posting, then they should receive an email that states that they submitted their application and that we received it. So part of the application process as well, or through the Applicant Tracker, is we can also, each posting, each vacancy, we can also assign our directors or principals to receive notifications. And so we do that with every posting. If it's a mechanic position is available right now, that position then gets notification to our transportation director, and depending the directors also or the principals. And then the applicants are notified again. If they are selected for an interview, then they will get notification to come in for the interview. I do want to point out that the interview selection for external and internal candidates, once that posting is there, then it kind of moves to the directors and the principals at the school level, and they handle the interview process. So candidates are selected for an interview based upon meeting the criteria for the vacancy. They set up interviews with the selected candidates and form their interview teams. The candidates are then interviewed and asked a predetermined set of questions. And after the interviews are complete, the principal will complete the interview record, check references, and then submit their recommendation or recommended candidate, I should say, for the position to HR. So that comes to me and my assistant, Amy Bowler, at that time. And so part of that process is also making sure that the background check has been filled out so that we can run that background check. Next is job offers and notifications. So once all those steps are completed by the principal and the director and it comes to me, then I work with the finance department to secure a salary. And then I talk to Dr. Lutz, he signs off, and then that's when I finally make the formal offer to the approved candidate. If the job is accepted, then we start the onboarding process. And at that time, I would say probably about halfway through the onboarding process, once we start getting information back from the selected candidate and it looks like it's going to continue to go that way and not maybe they, decide that it's not for them, that's when we make notification then to the other candidates that were interviewed that they were not selected for the position. And that does go through our HR office now. I think last year when I shared a little bit about our process, we had just taken that on and we continue to do that. And then again, once all the onboarding process is done and we have all the information, that's when kind of the behind the scenes, that's when we create a staff action on the HR side that then goes to finance to let them know we have everything in place. They can now get them in the system. That's when we remove the posting. We don't remove the posting beforehand because there's just too many times that something might fall through and then we have to post again. And so we just kind of keep that up until we're pretty sure that we have a start date and all that. Our onboarding process has changed a little bit since last time I was up here and talked about it, as in we have gone away from paper pencil and we have moved to a completely electronic onboarding process through, it's called Scripts, and it's a digital workflow. And so once a candidate or the selected person accepts the job offer from me, I then give the packet to my assistant, Amy Bowler. She makes contact with the new hire, kind of explains the process of what's going to be coming to them, and then that's when they receive an email that has the entire workflow through it. And so there'll be things on there that are required that they have to fill out, employee information, their tax forms, checks for direct deposit. We have a couple policies that they have to review, their health form, some things like that. All of that is, through that workflow. And then once it's complete, a staff action is created, which then initiates for other departments and the setup for our employees. So then it goes to finance. They get payroll set up. That's when benefits gets involved. That's Janelle McCutcheon's. She helps with that. Data gets notified so that they can get them an Infinite Campus, get them a UID number, get their email set up. Technology helps with that. And then also we collect a picture so that they can get their badge from the maintenance department so they have access to the school. So there's a lot of behind the scenes work that that goes into hiring employees. And then I just wanted to share, again, as you've heard from finance, Link is a work in progress. And one of the things that we struggle with are the reports that come from Link that we're still kind of trying to work through. So please, provide a little bit grace with these numbers. These are approximate numbers as we're trying to nail down exact numbers through Link reporting. But the total number of employees we have right now is roughly 653. We have 349 certified employees, 304 classified employees. Same with vacant positions. Those change on a daily basis. So approximately we have 15 vacant teaching positions and roughly 10 classified positions. Okay. And then I just wanted to share the North Carolina State salary schedule. This is just the very first page, base teacher, kind of fresh out with just a bachelor's degree. That's there, but I did link to the website right here, and all of this information you can find either under the finance department or the HR department of our website, but the whole salary schedule is there, which is going to give you the salary schedules for teachers with masters, national board, principals, kind of the whole gamut. And then currently, this is our teacher supplements that we offer. They are banded by 5 years in 5-year increments. They're based on, a bachelor's degree, national board, master, national board with masters, an advanced degree, advanced with national boards, doctorate, and doctorate with national board. So those numbers are there. Any questions?
Anybody? Any takers? Are we good?
So, thank you for this. And I was curious how many employees there were, so I'm glad you put that in there.
Sure.
So it's just the two of you?
So yes, I have an amazing assistant. She's
Right.
incredible. And then I also share someone with finance. She's kind of half-time HR
Okay.
assistant. Excuse me, I'm sorry, half-time finance payroll.
Okay.
And so she came on a year and a half ago. I want to say a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Don't hold.
Okay. No, I will. Okay. It's a lot. So thank you. Thank you for what you do. I know, I would imagine you're completely overwhelmed. I mean, I feel like I would be, but
Thank you for the honesty, Emily.
Um,
It's refreshing.
it's, yeah, I don't really have any questions. I'm just taking it all in. Thank you.
Fine. And if you have questions along the way, feel free to reach out, please. I'm
Absolutely,
happy to
I will.
share any part of what we do in HR.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Just thank you so much. I'm sure when I stop bothering Angela, I'll turn my sights to you. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Melissa?
I don't have any questions at this time, but thanks for what you're doing.
Sure.
Jason?
Just a curiosity, is our turnover rate a little bit lower than it was the previous year? Or do you know off the top of your head? Just looking at the report, it seems like there's less than normal. That
I want to say it was about roughly the same,
The
like the
same.
last 2 to 3 years that I've been looking at it. It's
Yeah,
been
so it's
kind of
been kinda
consistent.
consistent.
We've had great success with our BTs, and I'll attribute that to Christy Hodges and the coaches and the work they do with our BTs. Our turnover rate in our BT teachers has been very minimum.
Okay.
And so,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I
That's all
can
right.
get that
Just
information
curiosity
for you,
question.
though. I do have it. I just don't have it in
you're
front
fine.
of me right now.
All right, thank you.
For that, by the way, I always appreciate it. I don't know, but I'll find out. So thank you for that.
I didn't bring that folder, so sorry.
Thank you. So part of the reason we're here at 8:10 and everybody's glaring at me is because part of what we want to do is make sure we're educating the public. So there's this perception of why haven't I gotten an email back? So here's our, HR for dummies. If you didn't get an email back, you're not getting an interview. I'm not trying to be cold and rude. That's what's occurred. You can always call HR or you can send an email. These are the things I'm sure that Ms. Woods is teaching in CTE. When you apply for a job, if you don't get notification back, you call or you send an email. There is no conspiracy. We are not trying to keep you from having a job. We actually want employees. So this is the process. I think what we have seen from this presentation is that Ms. Lasher has 2.5 employees in HR to deal with 653 employees in a district. Again, 2.5 people are maintaining the entire school district, which for people who don't work in education, that also means there's this whole other section of her job, which is, are teachers certified? Have they gotten the amount of points? Have they taken continuing education? Do the coaches have CPR? Do the teachers have their CPR? Have nurses taking their things? Like, it's so big. So thank you. This is why we're doing this. It's about education. It's no other reason. We're educating people about the amazing work people are doing on a shoestring staff. Thanks.
Sure. Thank you.
On a lighter note, Dr. Lutz will talk about the impact of possible freeze on federal funding.
Sure, that's lighter. I check with Ms. Mizell frequently to make sure that our grants are not being affected, and to date, they are not. But I do want to bring to light the programs that are funded through federal dollars. Our CTE programs are they're federally funded. The state receives a grant, the state then disperses that grant. It's a Perkins grant. Our entire CTE program rides on the back of federal dollars. Title I, Title II, Title III, Title IV, and IDEA multiple programs. School nutrition, basically the federal government funds through the Department of Agriculture most of the school nutritional department. We also have ROTC programs, Medicaid funding, which our Medicaid funding is bill back. Jamie Miller and her team do a phenomenal job of bringing dollars back to the district from services rendered. It runs a year to two in arrear. However, if we were to lose our Medicaid funding, our EC department would be in a fiscal, we would not be solvent. I feel confident in saying that. She does a wonderful job. Impact Aid, Albemarle Regional Health Grant, all are programs that run through our district that depend on federal dollars. So fortunately, at this time, we have not had an impact. We have the dollars continue to flow. The programs that I named would be more of mainstream programs. And while there are districts across the state and nation that are being affected through funding and through different grants, they may have different types of grants. These are all fairly mainstream that we receive monies for. Any questions?
Anything for Dr. Lutz? Anyone? We're good? Okay. Work session format discussion. We are having some discussions around the idea of our work sessions and the purpose that they have. And so Ms. Currituck had asked to be able to kind of speak on this and for us to begin a kind of a beginning dialogue on the work session and the format we currently use. For the public, we have a work session typically before the general meeting. So that's what this discussion is going to be about. Emily?
Thank you. And I just really wanted to start the discussion. I feel there is a lot of duplication between the work session and the board meetings. I think it's, as a parent or a citizen, if you're looking for information, you don't know whether to look at the school board meeting or the work session. It can be confusing. Like, for example, well, last month, the
budget.
Audit, thank you. I feel like it was the same presentation at the work session and at the board meeting. And the work session today, Dr. Lutz gave a presentation on ICE and the policies. I wish that had been done at the board meeting. I feel like, yeah, we had a little bit of discussion about it, but I know there were some parents and citizens who were really concerned about that, and they might have tuned in to the board meeting to see what our thoughts were, what the discussion was, and they've tuned in, and we haven't talked about ICE at all because that was done at the work session. Yes, I know agendas are put out. I'm just trying to get a little bit of transparency for the public. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. I would like to see them combined at some point. I don't know if that's possible. Obviously, I do know that there are work sessions that will need to be done. For instance, like Sandy had mentioned, opening of Tolls Creek, obviously that's going to be a huge discussion topic that's not just going to be wrapped up in a 2-hour board meeting. Speaking of the budget, that's going to be, a lot of work's going to have to go into that. So I'm just throwing it out there for discussion. Okay. Thank you.
Sandy?
So my feeling is like Emily said, that there are going to be times when we need to have the work session. I just don't think that it's fair. I don't know if fair is the right word, but necessary for the public to go to 2 different locations to find information. I think there's opportunity to have those discussions at one meeting. That's kind of where I'm knowing that there are going to be times when we do need a work session. I think it's important that the principals participate, obviously, and it's important for them to contribute, for them to hear the updates. I'm just not sure it has to happen at a work session and a board meeting. I think some of those discussions can happen at a board meeting like they have tonight.
Okay. Melissa, anything different?
I think the way I see it is like in a research paper where you would have an introduction and conclusion that if you want just a brief synopsis, you read that. So that would be a board meeting. And the meat of it, where you really get into the details and into, all the stuff that maybe you don't actually care about because you're writing a research paper at 2:00 in the morning. That is for the work session. So like tonight when we're going over the policies, we really talked about it and went into it at the work session, and then to have the board meeting where it's just a shorter here's what it is, and if anybody wants that meat and potatoes, that they know where to find it. And I say that as do we want to keep people here for 3 hours at a time because we're really going into things? Probably not.
Okay. Thank you for that, Jason.
Yeah, with the work session, if we combine our work session tonight to this meeting, it'd be 10:30. I mean, realistically, if we combine that meeting to this one, I like the work sessions. I think there's a lot more discussion in the work session, and that discussion always flows right to this meeting. I just don't like having staff. I don't expect a principal to come here at 6:30 in the evening, stay here until 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, then be right back at school the next morning at 7 a.m. I think that's putting a lot on our staff.
Yeah.
I do like to see them at the work sessions. They're right out of school. They're right there. They can come to the work session. They can still go home to their families for dinner or whatever. It's makes it for a long day. And I think the work sessions are what they are. They're work sessions. And they always flow towards this meeting. So that's what my input would be.
And I did like that we started the work session later. I feel like if we are going to keep the work sessions, I'm fine with that. But I like that we started it a little bit later because there are schools in the northern end of the county that cannot get to a work session, and it's stressful.
Yeah, we did have some input from principals that the 4:00 was difficult and they want to be able to kind of shut their building down. So I just think taking this information, Dr. Lutz and I can certainly meet and we can look at that. I think it's a valid point that none of us want to duplicate an exact thing like the audit. I think that's something that can certainly be taken care of. But as we're getting into this meat and potatoes, that we might have to think about how long it goes. So I think that we'll take all this input and then we'll work on trying to do some type of happy medium that we don't just do a repeat version, just like tonight. Work session was the first reading of some policy, but as Emily said, making sure that we're discussing those things at this public meeting too. So thank you for that. The overnight field trip request. Dr. Lutz, is this you talking about? Oh, I did. So wait, I did skip something. Back. Board of Education member goals. Part of the goal of this board is to be transparent. It is also to make sure that we have goals so that we can hold ourselves accountable, that we are doing what the constituents voted for us to do. So part of our thinking behind this is that we ask principals to have goals, we ask teachers to have goals in their classroom that have end dates, and we have expectations, so we want to do the same for the board. So I asked that every board member kind of tonight just come up with a few things that they were considering as goals. We would take those together, and then I will meet and talk with Jason, and from what everybody's input is, we will then create goals for the entire board that we're hoping to accomplish by the end of the school year or the start of the next school year. So after everybody shares, then Jason and I at a later date will kind of get together about that. Emily, anything on your must-have we need to do as a Board of Education?
So I have two things, main goals to work on, and I think we've kind of already started on one, but higher teacher pay, which has kind of actually morphed into other things besides just higher teacher pay. And I've just gotten really tired with the the excuse that it's a state issue. Well, yes, it's a state issue. They're the ones that set the pay, but I think we have, as board members, are advocates for the community, the teachers, the students. So I think we're on a really good track with this committee that we're putting together. I know Dana and Jason have met with the county commissioners, a couple of them. So I feel like we're kind of all working together towards this goal, which is a huge goal, and hopefully we're successful. But I'm definitely looking forward to getting to work on all of that. And second is transportation. There's a problem with transportation in our county, getting our kids to school on time. And I don't really have a way to go about it, but I know something needs to be looked at. I know we've talked about a possible transportation study. So I don't have all the details on that or exactly how that works, but those are kind of two things, two of my main issues. So thank you.
All right, Sandy?
So I have three. Enhancing mental health resources, prioritizing student and teacher well-being by expanding access to mental health support and ensuring schools have the best possible resources. My second one is, which we found out tonight is well on its way, and that's increasing and improving communications and community engagement, strengthening the collaboration between the Board of Ed and the Board of Commissioners to ensure transparency and alignment of key decisions. And my third one, which probably should be my number one, because I do feel passionate, is to improve and include additional fine arts opportunities. Music, theater, visual arts, and dance give students creative outlets, build confidence, and improve critical thinking skills. A strong fine arts program enriches education and helps students thrive. So those are my three.
Thank you. Melissa? I'm surprised you guys haven't said this one. Open Tulse Creek Elementary School while supporting faculty and staff with minimal loss of learning. That seems like a really big one for us. Increase recruitment and fill all certified positions with certified teachers. And then to evaluate the budget to ensure all programs are equitably funded, which kind of goes to the fine arts, that all of the programs, maybe not equally, but that they are equitably funded.
All right, Jason.
When I got the email about goals, I was like, dang, goals. Goals can be here and it can be a long ways away to get. So I was trying to think of where we need to be as a district. I think one of the things that I like that I should have known, but before I got on the board, and I really like, is our strategic plan that we have in place. We're in year 25 of that. I think it comes up in 26. I do like those goals of our strategic plan, our initiatives that we have. That's develop the whole student, create a great place to work and grow for teachers and staff, which that would cover a lot of things we talked about pay and other incentives, and foster an engaged community. And one thing I've learned about our community is when I went out just on a couple things for our EC teachers, they were very responsive. I mean, they were like, yes, what can we do to help? So I think we're on the right track for that. But I guess one of my main goals as a board is to really, I know we all say it on the campaign trail, is we have to foster a relationship with our partners that sit here in these same seats behind us. We've got to get on the same page, and we've got to be able to work together and not throw knives at each other's backs and say, well, it's the school's fault or it's the county commissioner's fault. We've got to get away from that. And because we're all stewards of the taxpayer's dollar, and that's what it's about. It's about the taxpayer's dollar. You can say what you want to say, but that's what it all comes down to. It comes back to the almighty dollar. But our main goal is for our kids and for our teachers. And that's what I'd like to add.
All right. Thank you, Jason.
Yep.
I've kind of just have repetitive. I had a broad teacher support, which included financial compensation, advocacy, and strong curriculum. Transportation improvement and efficiency, and I say that not as a criticism of transportation. I don't want our staff or our bus drivers to take that as a criticism. We know that we are in a unique situation with our county. We have children via ferry. We have however many miles. Jason always talks about that you can get to Greenville shorter than you can get to parts of our county.
If you got to drive from Knox Island to Corova, you can drive from here to Greenville.
So the sheer mass of our district gives us unique problems that I think the public doesn't often think about. We have multiple campuses. We're not just trying to go to one elementary school. I would like to piggyback on what Emily said about a transportation study. I did have a conversation with Dr. Lutz today. That study with North Carolina State is taking place right now. They are coming in as an outside agency. They are looking at our transportation, and they're going to look at it and say, okay, is this an issue of, do we not have enough buses? Do we not have enough drivers? Are we trying to do too much? So, I mean, we might get an answer that you're asking people to do too much, and that's why it's not working. But that's what we want to know. We want to have real answers. And then my last, Melissa, don't worry, an efficient opening of Tolls Creek Elementary. That is in the best interest financially of the county in terms of how we do that in the best interest of student and staff. So I've written everybody's down, and we'll kind of do a collaboration. And then at the next meeting, we'll make sure we present so the community can hold us accountable for the goals that we have set. Now to overnight field trips. Dr. Lutz, is that you or is that me? Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's see. We have two trips. One, our Currituck County High School's all-district band trip to Greenville. That had already gone. So you're going to see these on the agenda. They submit, and then they show up on the agenda. Unfortunately, it's rare that you see the trip before the trip occurred. And I'm going to give you an example. Our boys basketball team found out that they're traveling 4 hours away for a game on Sunday, and they're traveling right now. They're probably done right now.
They are done.
So, and then they'll turn around and come back and continue to be good academic students after the state has required them to drive 4.5 hours one way. So that's my
Sideline
comment.
rant of Dr. Lutz. Over.
It's an ongoing. So I share that with new board members that the forms come in. We know they're going on the trip. Everything is covered. I still bring them to the board to give you an update on that occurred. Everything is kosher on there. FBL Leadership Conference. Now here's one that hasn't occurred yet. Our high school, NAP, Currituck Middle, and Mayock Middle are all going to the FBLA Leadership Conference. It's exciting to see this because we continue to grow our FBLA program and to see all 4 schools go. This is how it should be. So kudos to Miss Woods and her team for making sure that this is happening. Great opportunities for our kids. So there's our 2 trips.
All right, moving on to the consent agenda. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
A second?
I second it.
All in favor? Okay, all right, that passes. We are now moving on, making sure I'm looking because that's long, to our student board reports. I can tell you that Amelia Cervantes is not here tonight. She is with the Lady Knights, who just won their first round of the state playoff basketball game. But Kaylee is going to do double duty for us, so thank you, Kaylee.
Central Elementary. February is a month of celebration and community spirit at CES. We kicked off the month by honoring our amazing students. Their hard work, exemplary character, and dedication to attendance were recognized. Our school community came together for a heartwarming service project to support the Currituck County Animal Shelter. Thanks to your generosity, we collected an impressive 642 items to help care for the animals. The act of kindness truly reflects the spirit of compassion that we cherish at CES. In line with February's theme of love, we extend our gratitude to our bus drivers and monitors. These wonderful individuals ensure our students start and end their day safely and with a smile. A special thank you goes out to them for their unwavering dedication and care. Currituck County High School. On February 12th, CCHS hosted the Fall Academic Awards Night, we celebrated the successes of over 400 students who won various awards. We had 78 students receive the Currituck Standard Award, which signifies a score of a 4 or 5 on an EOC test. We are very proud of all our students. On February 13th, CCHS hosted the Breakfast of Love event for our seniors. Special thanks to all of the parents and community partners who donated to this event. Our CCHS course fair will be from March 5th from 5 to 7. Underclassmen and rising ninth graders are encouraged to attend. We will resume after-school tutoring in March, and we want to extend an invitations to students taking ACT and or ACT work keys this semester. Also, good luck to our men's and women's basketball teams who have both playoff games tonight. Good luck, Knights. CCMS held student grade level meetings and celebrated positive behavior and academic outcomes. We also celebrated our students for their academic achievements in the first semester of our awards programs. We are so proud of all the achievements of our raters. We have been busy with school events throughout February and look forward to many more in March. We hosted Tech Fest and the Cheer Conference Championship. CCMS took second place for cheer. We celebrated our school counselor, Mrs. Gazinski, and our school bus drivers and monitors this month. We are thankful for all the people who help make CCMS a wonderful place to learn and grow. W.T. Griggs Elementary. It has been an eventful month at Griggs. We kicked things off with our award ceremony where our student council members delivered impressive speeches showcasing their remarkable leadership skills. Our February Club Day was a great success. Currituck 4-H joined us to support our gardening and science club, bringing along a variety of vegetables for students to sample, which they thoroughly enjoyed. On February 15th, Griggs took part in Special Olympics polar plunge and earned an award for raising the most funds, totaling an impressive $2,572. Don't forget that on February 27th, we will be holding our Family Fitness and Math Night from 5 to 6:30 p.m., and we would love for you to join us. Following that, at 6:30 p.m., our fantastic PTO will kick off our second annual bingo night. Griggs is excited to host our second student-led conferences on February 28th. This is a great chance for students to share their mid-year achievements with their parents and showcase the incredible progress they've made this school year. JP Knapp Early College. From February 10th to 14th, we celebrated our dedicated school bus drivers and monitors, recognizing their vital role in ensuring the safety and well-being of our students. More than transportation providers, they are the first point of contact for many students each day, setting a positive tone for learning. We expressed our appreciation with a small token of gratitude each day, and we will continue to extend our sincere appreciation for their commitment and service. The JP Knapp Early College High School 2025 through 2026 recruitment process is drawing to a close. Decision letters will be mailed by March 12th, and commitment day is scheduled for March 26th. We eagerly anticipate welcoming our future students. Congratulations again to Megan Frazier for being a finalist for CTE Teacher of the Year. Jarvisburg Elementary School ended January with awards ceremonies and a school-wide PBIS celebration. Currituck County Sheriff Bikert and Deputy Akers came to celebrate our 5th grade essay contest winners with a pizza lunch. February began with celebrating School Counselor Week, class pictures, and SRO Day. This year, JES had a team representing at the Polar Plunge, raising money for the Special Olympics. We were freezing for a reason. Knott's Island. We recently celebrated our outstanding students with our first semester awards. We are extremely proud of the hard work exhibited by our students. We were very impressed with the number of students who attained perfect attendance for each 9-week period. We had close to 30% of our students reach perfect attendance during the first 9 weeks and 24% for the second 9 weeks. We appreciate our partnership with our parents, their understanding and support of the importance of being in school all day, every day. Moyock Elementary School has a wonderful second quarter awards ceremony with great attendance. Our students are truly achieving great heights. We are looking forward to celebrating our Currituck County Sheriff's Office essay contest winners with a pizza party. We are seeing consistent, highly engaged students across our campus daily and are celebrating their successes regularly. We continue to focus on our military families and enjoying the process of being an Anchored for Life school. We are seeing great personal and cultural benefits of being both a Purple Star school and an Anchored for Life school. Mayock Middle School. We celebrated the academic achievements from the first semester with awards on February 14th. Over 300 students earned recognition, with 95 earning all A's in the first semester. MMS is continuing to facilitate academic field trips. Our 8th grade students visited the Jamestown Settlement. 6th and 7th grade students have plans to visit the Virginia Marine Science Museum and the Virginia Air and Space Museum. Good luck to our Science Olympiad team and FBLA as they travel for competitions and conventions. Chaparral. We had a great month celebrating Love the Bus Week and School Resource Officer Day. We appreciate our bus drivers and our school resource officer and all they do for our students. We also appreciate the teachers and staff that planned and presented at our annual Tech Fest professional development sessions. There really was great information gained. Mustang families, our spring book fair opens next week.
We good? Thank you. Our next Board of Education meeting is March 20th, 2025. And at this time, we're going to have board member and superintendent comments. Emily?
Let's see. Sandy and I did our tour of all 10 schools. And thank you to all the principals and staff members and teachers that really rolled out the red carpet for us. We learned so much. The conversations were wonderful. Y'all just really did a great job. And I know Dana always says that, our students here just really make the difference. I mean, what a great bunch of students. They were all so well behaved, so welcoming. So we really appreciate that. And was able to attend the Knott's Island Elementary School Awards ceremony, which was wonderful. It was like a 2-minute drive for me, which was amazing. And then also the awards at Currituck County High School. So the students have done a wonderful job and worked really hard for those awards. So thank you.
All right, Sandy?
I'll just echo what Emily said, that we had the pleasure of visiting all 10 schools. And these visits were more than just about walking the halls, and they were about listening, learning, engaging directly with our teachers and staff. And several of the schools, we did a student-led tour, which was amazing. So these visits reaffirmed why we do what we do. We would just want to make sure that our teachers feel supported, that our schools continue to be a place of growth and opportunity. So thank you all for having us.
Thank you. Melissa?
So I would like to encourage everyone here and anyone still listening at home. On March 14th, Currituck Education Foundation has its annual fundraiser, Dining with Celebrities. One of the celebrity servers that evening will be our very own Emily Currituck.
Yay!
All of the tips that they receive will be donated to the Currituck Education Foundation, which benefits students and staff through grants and scholarships. The event is, again, March 14th from 5 to 8 p.m. at BJ's Carolina Cafe, and I hope to see everyone there for a great evening of fun.
All right, Jason?
Ms. Parker and I had a meeting with the county commissioners, when was it? 3 weeks ago? 2, 3 weeks ago. I was excited about it because that's kind of our first dialogue that we've had outside of talking to each other, that we actually sat down at the table. Hopefully, if we do disagree on things, that we'll just agree to disagree and still have those meetings. It was very informative. Ms. Parker brought out a good point while we were there, that almost half of our kids on the south end of the county are at poverty level or below poverty level, which is huge because we are a Tier 3 county. And being a Tier 3 county, we get zero funds almost from the state. Some of our neighboring counties got millions of dollars for their school, for their new schools. And how much money did we get? Yeah, almost.
Well, we were 112 out of 115, so we hover in the bottom three consistently.
Yeah, and that's what really concerns me. And when we talk about the federal funding, that concerns me. I'm the guy. Federal government, get out of the way, let us do our thing. But what concerns me is that money's turned over to the state. The state looks at us as a Tier 3 county, and there goes our funds. I know they say, well, it's all being grants and it will come different ways. I've been in local government for over 30 years. I don't see it happening. I really don't, unless something miraculously changes. On a more positive note, I think Ms. Ayers, you'll be at FFA. Yes. Judge, that's Thursday at the Agriculture Extension Center. The FAA will be putting on their regional competition, and we'll be judges there.
You're doing it too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fun for y'all.
Yeah.
Don't talk to each other if you're in the same room. I don't want anybody to report it. Somebody will text me or I'll be on the Mayock page and then I'm going to have to answer.
It's all good.
All right. So, words that are not often spoken by me, I'm going to keep it short because I think I've kept y'all here long enough. Just to echo what Jason said, we had a very productive meeting with the county manager and chair and vice chair and members of county government. That is not something that Jason and I, in our 2 years of being on the board, we've never met with county commissioners, so we were really excited. We're looking forward to the fact that they have agreed to have a joint meeting. So what we're going to do is we're going to work together and we're going to tell our story. When we told the story that, you know, at Jarvisburg, 60% of our kids live at the poverty line, people were surprised at the table because we are the least distressed economic county in the state. And the story from our children and the free and reduced numbers that were shared tonight do not tell that story. So we've decided as a board that our job is to tell our story. And that's what we're going to do because we are confident that the citizens of Currituck want quality public education and they support public education when we are honest and transparent about what we really need. So I'm just so excited to work with these four people who are ready to hit the ground running, and each of them has a different skill set and are just going to be able to do great things for our students and our staff and our teachers who, as I continue to say, thank you to the people who choose to work for us every day because you could choose to drive 30 minutes and make $25,000 more tomorrow. That's the truth. So thank you for those of you who choose to put our community at the top of your list. We appreciate it. Dr. Lutz?
It is Love the Bus Month. Always a big shout out to anyone in transportation. Driving a bus with a group of kids behind you on a long routes, nothing short. Thank you. Couple of donations I want to recognize. The Knights of Columbus made a generous donation to our EC department directly to our teachers. Jamie Miller will talk a little bit more about that in March. The Currituck Club made a substantial donation as well to our EC teachers at Central Elementary. So thank you to the Currituck Club. And lastly, Hope Mobility, a nonprofit agency in Stony Point, North Carolina, supports children and adults with special needs all over the world. They donated gently used equipment to our EC department, over $36,000 worth. Therapeutic seating, standers, mobility chairs, activity chairs, walkers, gait trainers for students of all ages. What is not written up in here is that our EC director, Jamie Miller, and her husband went over on Friday night to secure these items on Saturday over this past weekend to bring those back. Worked with Miss Tidd at Griggs Elementary to store them, get everything cleaned up so we have great access for our kids in the future. So thank you for the generous donations. Currituck County Schools is blessed to have community supporters locally and throughout the state. Thank you.
All right, at this time, the moment you've all been waiting for, do we have a motion to adjourn? Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Y'all earned your paycheck tonight.